Hey guys, how you doing? So I haven't done a video in a while, and I thought while I'm painting this crawler, I'll just sort of give an update on what I'm doing. So this is a lot harder to do than I thought initially. I've been scratching my head over the paintwork for, it's got to be 6-7 years now. I'm sure all of you know this is a scratch-built studio scale Sandcrawler built off Martin Stivelhagen's wooden frame that he sells for the crawler, which, you know, if you can grab one off him, if you're still got any left, if you want to dive into this huge project, then do, because it's great fun. But it's literally taken me, I've had 2 kids since I started this, and it's you know, it's sat in primer for a long time. I've taken it to shows and that sort of thing in primer, and it wasn't until Chris Benware actually started painting his that it really got my juices flowing. I was like, right, Jesus, I need to make sure I remember what he does, because he's the crawler master. He's done like 4 or 5 Randy Cooper models, and now he's doing his own studio scale one, which is pretty much finished his paintwork, I think. And before all that information got lost, I was like, right, I need to jump on this, because either Chris is going to forget, I'm going to forget, or, you know, something's going to happen and it's not going to get done. So as a sort of a step-by-step, if I go around the other side, not that you can see that much because it's crap lighting in my room, you start off with like a grey primer, which is what you see the pictures of Lorne Peterson, you know, holding it and doing bits and bobs to it. That's in grey primer. Then we highlighted sort of, I know this is a bad word to use with pre-shading, but it helps with getting the tones right on the brown. Just streaked down with white over that grey, just haphazard all over it. That's obviously put on afterwards. So this is that's an area that's not done on the original, and I haven't by any means finished this area. But that gives you an idea of a really light base coat of roof brown, which you can see here. That's kind of dumb, because on the original model they did nothing here. They, you know, this is the non-hero side, so it's just the roof brown over it. And I've even added the scratches and dings and that sort of thing that's on the original. And then the key to the brown is to put a misting of engine black over it. And what the misting does is kill that real harsh red sort of Kenner toy look to the crawler and start turning it that brown. Now, I haven't finished that area yet, but that gives you an idea. Then all you do, the darkened panels, you just go over with a thicker roof brown. I think Lee Ralph discovered that in one of his videos way back. And then you go over the panels again with a misting of the black, and it gives you that kind of look. This looks really harsh on the camera. It's far more blended in person, but it gives you the idea anyway. So after you've got the base coat, the roof brown, then you've got the misting of the black, then you've got the panels blackened, you kind of, you know, get that look again. If it's too harsh, you can go back in with the roof brown, and it sort of blends it back. And it's just a game of trying to get it right. And then you go in with your misting and splattering of all that lovely dusting. I don't think there's any sort of dust and pigments on the crawler at all, apart from the tracks. I think it's all paintwork. Any dust and that sort of thing that's picked up on it is due to it literally being used in the desert. So yeah, and then the chipping was applied. That was a mix of Reefer Orange and Reefer Yellow, I think. And then you go back in with engine black, not engine black, boxcar red thin down enamel, and just sort of dot it over just to give that red tone back again. Then you mist it again. I think I used, God, I can't remember now. I think it was Light Earth was the misting. And then I used the Reefer Grey Light just by hand streaking. I've got all these knackered brushes now just from you know, being abused over this, because it ends up being really rough. Because you're misting so much, it's not like a nice smooth finish, so your brushes just get annihilated, which is fine, because, you know, the money I spent on this crawler, a few quid on a new brush isn't going to matter. And then the white chipping isn't actually white at all. That was DS Surface Grey, although there was some areas I think I went over in white, because some pictures it looks white and some looks grey, some pictures look like almost like a mix of the both. So yeah, airbrush streaking, engine black streaking, and this is how that side's looking so far. So that's pretty much done. I will go back in and tighten up bits and pieces that, like, I mean, at the back here, I think that streak's a bit too harsh. But again, you can just mist over some roof brown that blends in again. But I'm really enjoying this. But it's taken, you know, seeing Chris's work for me to go, ah, that's the cheat code to painting it. Because you wouldn't believe how red that roof brown looks. You know, at the top, it's still got that red tone. Then you mist your black on, and it starts looking like the ref pictures. And you're like, oh, nice. That's what we want. I don't think that much happened on the top. I think it's a case of just misting some light earth over and letting that settle and maybe wiping it off. But I haven't even started looking at the top yet. I did spill a whole cup load of roof brown on top, which is kind. I think it was all over there. Yeah, I was going to my airbrush and spilt the whole top. So there's some blue language there. But you can't build a Star Wars model without some blue language. So yeah, I just thought I'd document this a little bit. The front is completely haphazard. I've got to go over that again with some roof brown. And then all the chipping on the front. It takes a lot longer than you think. And then I haven't even started the tracks. And the boxes are going between the tracks yet. So this is not a quick process. This has taken almost all week just to do that. But as I say, while the memory's fresh and while people have done it, you've got to jump on and do it before you forget. And it's a sin that I've had this 99% finished for 7 years. No, I reckon no. I started 7 years ago. It's been at this state in primer for the best part of 3 or 4 years. So I needed to pull my finger out and paint this. But I want to thank Chris, because he's been so helpful with helping me. If I get mine to look half as good as his, I'll be over the moon. And Lee Ralph for initially realising it was roof brown. So, and everyone else, God, there's too many to thank, but you know who you are.